You know, I come on here almost every year and I talk about the fact that, you know, the time, in my opinion, is just, perfect. It is just, absolutely perfect for, an artist, a female artist and singer, and I say this with all due respect, no offense, for them to, basically put themselves on the map even further than what they've been before. Or it's a great opportunity for for an up and coming independent female artist and singer to put themselves on the map. And of course, I'm talking about doing a remake or, a remake basically of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer music video. Now, I've gone on record and said that it doesn't necessarily have to be the song itself. I mean, there is a group out there that did a kind of a homage, to the music video and added their own little quirks, or quirks, if you will, here and there. But basically, it was a straight up, homage, a tribute, if you will, to the video. And basically, I looked at that and I'm like, okay, if they can do that, then why can't anybody else? And there have been some people that have done covers. One group tried to do it, and obviously you could tell it was more of a parody than anything else. But when I talk about a female artist and singer, and I've said this before, and I know people feel I've been talking about it ad nauseum, repetitively a lot, but hey, the more you get it out there, the more likely something will come about from it. And I've said this before because, of course, I live with my mom. She's a preschool teacher. One thing I've known about her is that the more basically she teaches, the kids she works with, the more innovative, the more creative, the more imaginative she'll get with them. And she has always been like that, even when I was a kid. And she homeschooled me. She would be very creative, very innovative, imaginative, when it came to helping me, be ready to go to regular public school. And this is why, honestly, I bring this up because, it's very well known that there's a lot of female artists out there right now, like FK Twigs, Bojack, if you will, a few others. I think Megan Trainor is one of them. Katy Perry, Sia, Lady Gaga to an extent, that are very, very creative in the videos. And there's no doubt, even the likes of Pink, even the likes of Pink can show their creativity. And when I see this, it's just basically not just with them, but with some of the newer artists like Billie English or Billie Eilish, who's out there. When I see them doing this, honestly, showing their creativity, it just furthers, like I said, it just furthers my stance that a female artist and singer can do a Sledgehammer homage with their own video, with their own song, I should say. And maybe even do a straight up remake and cover of the song in their own style. I've always felt like that can happen. And there's a lot of female singers up and coming, independent, that have done a straight up send up, a cover, their version of Sledgehammer. One girl did an R&B, a very soulful R&B send up of it, and she did a video to go with it. And it wasn't. Now, here's the thing, it wasn't basically along the lines of, what Gabriel did or anything, but it had its moments. Like, she's dressed, like she gets behind one of these, vanities, if you will, dressing vanities, where you see a silhouette of her, and that's the closest I think you get. But to me though, I go back to what I said, about, women being very creative, innovative, and imaginative. And I could see an independent, up and coming, artist, singer, if you will, doing their own take on it. I can. And even if it is, a straight up cover, remake, version, of the song itself, or if it's, the own song, but done in a video that pays homage to, scene by scene to Sledgehammer, whatever the scenario, whatever, case scenario they'll go down or go with, I think honestly it would be, a moment that they'll never forget. I think it's a moment that would really help put them on the map, and if they're an established artist and singer, it's something that puts them even further, on the map, establishes them even more. And that's a fact. It's an absolute fact. The other reason I also want to bring this up again, and again, I know like I said, I talk about this ad nauseum repetitively. Believe me, some people have reminded me of it a lot, It's mainly because we are close to the 40th anniversary of the song. Yeah, depending on how you view it, whether you view next year, 2025, as 40 years, or the actual 40th year, 2026, however you view it, we are approaching 40 years since this innovative, music video with this song, came out. And I think the last time there was an anniversary, which was the 35th one, a couple years ago, all they did was like, what was it, a remaster of the So album that came out to help celebrate it or something, something like that. And I think they may have released an 4K version of the video, or at least, released it for the first time outside of Apple TV, outside of Apple, because that's where it's at. They might have done something. I can't really remember. He might have gone on tour too to celebrate it. I'm not really sure. But I do recall basically about 10 years prior to the 35th anniversary, which was 2011, around 2011, 2012, Peter Gabriel was promoting a crowd-funded, remake of the video. And he wanted to involve the fans. And the way he wanted to involve the fans was to have them submit their own takes, their own remakes of their favorite scenes, from the video. And a lot of them, give them credit, did exactly that. They did the best they could with what they could provide. The only issue, which is why I don't think we've heard much after that, and why we didn't, we didn't see any more clips or anything, or why the clips were even taken down, I think the reason was because the contest didn't do so well. Like, I'm sure they got winners and everything, and they got included in a specialized video sent to them, but nothing came of it. Nothing else was came of it. And I think the reason is because the favorite parts everybody loved about the original video were the fruit face and the claymation. And the fruit face obviously would have been and was, as I saw some of them, a lot easier to redo than the claymation. So in my opinion, that was the closest we ever got to it, where the fans would have been involved. But I think honestly, as we approach the 40th anniversary, the timing couldn't be better. So I just wanted to put that out there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are.